Hi everybody. Today I wanted to talk about my aforementioned weight loss roller coaster. So I guess everything kind of started happening maybe around when I was 13. I don't have any distinct memory of when it all began, but I remember I was always kind of a tomboy-ish person, so I wore big t-shirts, sometimes stretch pants, you know, not well-fitting clothing. And when I started to wear well-fitting clothing, I became more aware of things like clothing sizes, and like what my friends wore and what I wore. And, you know, as women in our culture do, I thought, well, smaller's better. So, yeah, so that's kind of when it started. And so I started to become really aware of how much I was eating, probably same as many other people do, because of getting sick and realizing that not eating led to weight loss. So yeah, that happened. And then I started doing things like eating one banana for breakfast and one Luna bar, you know, things that I could track that were vegan, that were easy, one packet of oatmeal, things like that. And then for lunch, so this was like around the time when I was approaching high school and I changed from private to public school. And so I didn't qualify for subsidized lunch, so I just used to basically eat like a bag of Lay's barbecue potato chips and like a Snapple, something. Or sometimes I would go buy oranges and a giant bottle of water, speaking of water, and eat that for lunch. And then I was probably around 130 pounds at this point. And then, kind of long story short, I ended up, my parents went to England. My stepmom's English. They went to England to visit their family, and I stayed behind for maybe a month, maybe longer. And I basically was like, okay, well, I don't have a lot of money, so I'm not going to eat if I'm not hungry. And I had a summer internship at Mount Sinai. I was living in New York City at the time. And so I would get hungry and then I would walk home, which is like a million miles because that's all the way uptown and I live in the East Village. And I would basically just kind of decide, well, I'm not hungry anymore, so I guess I'm not going to eat. And so I ended up eating not very much. And I think I got down to 118 pounds. And then as soon as I started school and I started eating bagels for breakfast and things like that, eating normally again, I absolutely ballooned and went from 118 to 140, which doesn't really seem that crazy. But then I kind of struggled around and near the 140 to 130 area for a while, constantly trying to get it down. And then when I was 19, I worked at a summer camp in Connecticut, and all I ate, everything that I ate was beige. It was like my worst nightmare, and the salad was disgusting to the point where I would rather eat the beige food, the fake burgers and all that stuff that I don't normally like and don't normally eat. So I got up to 150 pounds. And then once I left camp, like I want to say November-ish, I worked there for about 9 months, 7 months, 9 months. I slowly came back down because I was eating normal again. And then that was the first time I tried my hand at a raw food diet, or around that time, yeah. But it was the high fat kind. So I was eating a lot of tahini and yeah, nothing good came of that. I was eating a lot of high fat foods, a lot of like chocolate with maple syrup. It was a disaster. So yeah, so then I kind of got back down, I think probably to 135 or so. And then, you know, was always unhappy when I was like 140, so on and so forth. And basically when I went to college, as many people do, I think, I broke my veganism because I thought, oh, well, maybe, you know, the thing I haven't been eating for like since I was 13 and I'm now, you know, 21 was animal products. And so I tried eating eggs and started eating cheese, and oh God, you could not stop me with a block of cheese. Whew. So yeah, and that didn't help anything, you know, nothing nothing came of it. It was whatever. So yeah, so I'm, you know, eating animal products, and then I start doing aerial, which is like aerial dances, like silks and trapeze and stuff like that, and I really kind of started to notice that my weight was really hindering me, and so for that reason I wanted to lose some weight. And so eventually, I think I want to say 2013, I was eating like I would say, yeah, a low calorie diet and exercising a lot, doing HIIT workouts at home, eating like 1 yogurt and fruit for breakfast, you know, that type of thing. And then, yeah, sorry, my dog's barking. Lost a lot of weight eventually, yeah, and then actually stabilized around 125. 120, 125, yeah, around there for a while. And actually, one thing I forgot was that I got sick this one time when I was in my first year, and I wasn't eating very much, you know, again, and I was like, woohoo, I lost weight, you know. And so then I started this like funny like thing of a diet that I invented that was like unlimited fruit, or I thought I invented unlimited fruit, and then I'd eat like a packet of oatmeal and salad. But hey, you know, I guess I was kind of onto something, and I went to the Dominican Republic for my uncle's wedding, and that was really awesome because they had unlimited fruit and it was amazing. So anyway, yeah, so then I maintained the 125 for quite a while, actually, several years, 2 or 3. And then I actually started Raw Till 4. Well, I discovered 80-10-10 first, as I said in my previous video. And then I discovered Raw Till 4 and was like, okay, this is at least more doable for me. But I was always kind of half in it. Like, I did eat out a lot because my boyfriend loves to eat out. So, yeah, so I did that. And Raw Till 4. Yeah, and actually I kind of just stabilized around 125, 130 on Raw Till 4, and I was on that for several months. And then it wasn't until I moved here and I basically went from working out 7 days a week to being sedentary, because I couldn't find an aerial studio out here, and even when I did find one, I couldn't work out as much as I used to. So yeah, so I slowly started to gain weight, and over these past 2 years that I've been here in Colorado, I'm in graduate school, I have gained 45 pounds. Yeah, 45 pounds. And you know, it doesn't bother me. I've had to go through a lot of like I've followed a lot of people and subscribed to a lot of people who are big into like the self-love movement, although, you know, for certain reasons I don't agree with entirely with their message, partially because a lot of those people were like, I was once vegan for ethical reasons and now I eat whatever the fuck I want because body positivity, and I'm just not into that. I think you can be body positive and eat a diet that is healthful, whatever that means for you, and ethical. So yeah, so that's kind of my my journey. So right now I'm sort of peaked out at the highest weight I've ever been, at 170 pounds, and I'm okay with it because I think that my body really needed it, and I have restricted for so long. I am going to be turning 30 this year, so yeah, it's been a long time, since 13, and I'm happy with the way that things have turned out, and I think it's turned out for the best. I'm glad that I had to go through the body positivity, body love thing, and I think it's necessary for everybody to go through. I don't think that, I think weight loss should be an afterthought. And there's actually a girl, you should subscribe to her. Her name is Meg's Squats, and I love what she says. She says, how you look should be the least interesting thing about you. So I'll leave with that message, and please subscribe and support me, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.